This is a Ferrari 599, and it offers just about everything just about anyone could possibly want from a supercar. You know, just from looking at the ingredients in this car, that it's going to be something really very special. It has a 612 brake horsepower V12 engine, 50 years of racing pedigree, a dollop of Pininfarina styling, half a dozen cows, and computing power that NASA could only dream about. It has a suspension system so complicated I can't even say the name of it. Been practicing this all day, so here we go. Magneto... No, Maniite, no, Mag, no, the word's about this long. Right, here we go. Look, the dampers, right, they're filled with iron filings, and then when you hit them with an electrical current which runs around the outside of the damper, they become all firm and tumescent and priapic. It also has a gearbox that can disengage the clutch, change gear and re-engage it in 100 milliseconds. Underneath, we find aerodynamic aids, which all on their own provide 160 kilograms of downforce. And unlike previous Ferrari GT cars, this is not made from bits of scaffolding with the body panels bolted into place. It has an all-aluminium chassis for reduced weight and extra strength. What we have here then is a blend of passion, engineering, pedigree, art, maths, science, and that sort of techie know-how that's put Ferrari at the top of Formula One for the last, 8 years. It really is just a breathtaking combination. Drive this thing hard and very quickly you realise that it is just so far ahead of its rivals. Oh, brilliant. Stepping out of an ordinary car and into this is like stepping out of a speedboat and getting into a Type 42 destroyer. It's just breathtaking. A lot of people say it's just an expensive version of the Corvette Z06, but honestly, it just so isn't. As a general rule, I don't like flappy paddle gearboxes, but I bow to no man in my admiration for the technology that made this one. Every time you pull one of these levers, it's like you've been kicked by a horse, only more violent and nicer. Then there's the speed. It's got an updated version of the 6-litre V12 they put in an Enzo, so there's a lot of it. 0 to 60 is dealt with in 3.8 seconds. 0 to 100 in a Zonda-busting 7.4. Flat out, you are way past 200 miles an hour. You can almost feel the world warming up as you thunder along. But it's the way this thing corners that just leaves you breathless. It's a big car, this, and despite the aluminium chassis, it's heavy too. But it never feels either. It may have a big engine up front, but it's actually behind the front axle, and the gearbox is at the back, so the weight distribution is pretty much perfect. Thing is though, it doesn't respond well to brutal treatment. You have to tickle it, tease it, be gentle with it. It's weird, the smallest input you make makes a huge difference, so if you get it slightly wrong, well, it'll kill you. If you get it slightly right though, It's like bathing in 600 gallons of double cream. Right, let's do a quick lap. Up to 8,500 RPM from a V12. I've got the traction control off at the moment, which means the suspension's at its hardest setting. The gear change is at its fastest. It knows I'm on a track and not dawdling down the A38 just outside Burton-on-Trent. The Formula One style lights here on the steering wheel telling me when it's time to change, and bang, and here we go again. Slide's coming, there it is. Look at this now. If I were to drive the Lamborghini Murcielago like this, I would now be dead, either from hitting a barrier or from exhaustion. But this, it's hard work, but it's much, much easier. And there you go. Hot lap in a 599. Hope he's going to the gym. Some have criticised this car for being nervous on the limit. I like that though. Reminds you it's a thoroughbred. You want to feel relaxed? Have a bath. It is an epic car this, and it comes with a boot and space behind the seats for your golf clubs. If I have a criticism, and of course I do, it's that somehow Ferrari seems to have lost its sense of humour. The 599 is so complete and so capable, there's not much sense of fun when you drive it. Let me put it this way. If you were to have some friends round and open a bottle of Chateau Petrus 45, a reverential hush would fall on proceedings. Everybody would sit there, swilling it round their mouths, masticating, genuflecting at its brilliance. And that's fine, but if you were to open a cheap bottle of Plonk, everybody would keep talking, laughing, having a good time. See what I mean? Brilliant, not so brilliant, a lot more fun. That's the problem with the 599. You marvel at its abilities and its brilliance, but it never makes you laugh. Weirdly, for a real giggle, you must turn to the French.